I would like to talk to you about today of a special concept that I've read in this book, which is called Lagom. So it's a Swedish concept, and it has actually changed the way I think and I look at life. So what's special about this concept? It's something that you should really consider adapting. Talks about balance. I know there's no such thing as balance because sometimes you're going to have too much or sometimes you're going to have too less. But this book talks about different aspects of life and how you can achieve that joy, which actually matches what I'm really looking for in life. Let's talk about this different concept. That's how we can apply, how I applied it to my life. So what is Lagom? So Lagom means not too little and not too much, just right. A brief history. This is something I love also. I just want to talk about how beautiful the colors, how beautiful the cover. And I'm a sucker for books. I love the smell of new pages. So when I got this book, it's a gift to myself. I bought this. No one gave this to me. I bought this and I like buying books. And I fell in love with the concept because this is something that all of us maybe are looking for. It's the Lagom kind of happiness. So what does it talk about? It's not about celebrating mediocrity, but celebrating a balance that you yourself can find. You define your own just right. All of us will have different just right modes, and maybe some of your just right will be higher than mine, some will be lower than mine. So it's actually creating balance in life. And so let's talk about the different ways that you can implement Lagom in the different areas of your life. Let's talk about Lagom in home organization. So as an interior designer, yes, I have a degree in interior design. I've worked for an American furniture company, and I've worked also in a homegrown UAE brand, furniture brand. And I have loved organizing. I'm an IKEA lover. When I read this book and I looked at how I organize my life, it somehow dictates what I really, really want. I wanted minimalism before, but not really, because I have things. I love to collect books. I love to paint. Finding that right space that feels comfortable, yet you feel there's less clutter, that's where you find your Lagom in home organization. Now let's talk about work-life balance. It's expressing your love for creativity. So as entrepreneur, our tendency is to work. I love working. I rarely burn out because I enjoy looking at numbers. I know it's weird, and I enjoy marketing. I enjoy challenging tasks. But of course, I do get tired, and that's where I find my rest. This is something that I have learned throughout the years, that I have learned to make better yeses. Learning to say no and learning to say better yeses. Choosing which ones to prioritize and choosing which ones you need to do is a great work-life balance that can be considered as Lagom. So work-life balance is also about doing what you like to do in between, being creative. So another way for me to release the stress from work is for me to do artwork. Like I do a lot of painting on my free time. I do watercolor. It's not that I'm good at it, but it's something that helps me relieve stress. And I think every entrepreneur or every business person who works or every person who has work needs to do this on their free time. A way to release the stress and, to have that balance to work hard and play hard. It's a core value here in the company is to work hard and play harder, because we want to have that joy of you enjoy your life. You should not be just having too much work. This book also talks about sustainable living. Sustainable living means there's a lot of really extremes that that there's no use of plastic. As much as you can, as much as I can at our home, we try to use single-use plastics. And we try to be sustainable as much as we can, like use paper bags whenever we have groceries, or reusable bags. We do bring in reusable bags whenever time we go out and have groceries. Even here in the office, as you can see, we have plants in here in the office. As much as you can, it's not like trying to be an extreme. Lagom talks about not doing extremes. So as much as you can be sustainable with some small details of how you can contribute. You don't have to make massive changes in your life, just make small changes. Now let's talk about the diet Lagom way. So how do you eat? So the Lagom diet way reminds me of the Japanese concept called Hari Hachibu. That means eat only until you're 80% full. So it's not about binge eating or eating a lot and becoming a glutton. So Lagom says that you should not eat until you're full. You should eat just to satisfy and just to fill your, not fill like 100% full, but just fill your stomach. Lagom also talks about enjoying your food mindfully. So, like meals should be about, in our family, whenever we have meals, we try to avoid eating in a hurry. We want to enjoy meals together as a family, or even whenever I'm out with friends, I try to put my phone aside, make sure I enjoy the time, I enjoy the food, and I try to also not to over order. So sometimes we try to avoid restaurants with big servings, or whenever we go to restaurants with big servings, we make sure that we share, or I take away whatever is left over and I eat it later on. About finances. So it's about, again, balance. It's not about being frugal and not spending, but it's about wise spending. So where do you put your money and where do you actually save your money? So there's the extreme of saving all your money and not buying yourself the pleasures, versus there's another extreme that you don't have savings and yet you buy all the pleasures of life, that buy that new gadget, that new branded bag, that new shoes. So making sure that you have enough saved and yet you also still enjoy your fruits of labor. It talks about how to be financially wise but not become frugal. Another thing that Lagom, this book talks about, is about your community. So I love, when I read this book, I love how it was important for Swedish people to have a community, like sitting just together in a park, enjoying a meal together. These are the things that really matter in life. We should also limit our social media consumption because it's better for us to talk to people in person, face to face. So this is something that I try to implement, is try to meet one person that I haven't met for a long time, a friend that I haven't had lunch for a long time, book a breakfast with them, or if I meet someone new and that I'll find interesting, I'll just have a relaxed breakfast with them, because we all need community, especially here in Dubai where everything is fast-paced. Everyone's working, everyone's here just for work. Actually spend time building deep relationships with people. So one thing that as a family we enjoy is we have a life group. This is like a group of families or group of individuals. We actually go to the same church. We gather once a week, have dinner, then talk about life, pray for each other. So this is like, it keeps us grounded and it keeps us, build deep relationships, have meaningful conversations versus just everything is a transaction. So that is not healthy. So those are the different aspects where I have implemented Lagom in my life, from sustainable living, from how I organize my home, from the diet, from the way I eat, the way I interact with people, from the money, and social media use. So you can also have, and of course, work-life balance, which I forgot almost, but that's actually the most important aspect of where I have implemented Lagom. And this concept is really, really useful and really that I think you should consider implementing. Lagom is not about strict rules. It's about having that flexibility and balance and not wanting too much. If you found value in this video, I hope you hit the like button, do subscribe, and if you find this book, it's a good book to read. There's some recipes in it, some exercises too, and like some parts that you might find interesting. It's very interesting, the Swedish culture-ish, and this concept I think you might find useful in your life. So again, see you next time.